Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. We have our special guest, Ed Barsano, the founder and programmer of GoBaby Trade. And this is a software that's near and dear to my heart. So I'm happy and so happy you could join and Ed could be here to share a bit today about this incredible tool that we now have available to us. And I'm going to start just with a couple introductions, and then we're going to jump right into the software itself. And Ed's going to do some live demos on screen, and of course, make sure that everybody on the call gets all their questions answered. So let's just dive right in. First of all, just for those that don't know me, I'm Francine Lou-Miller, and I actually have a background in trading. I was a professional equity trader for close to 20 years for leading global hedge funds and mutual funds. I'm a market technician, so I stared at charts all day long with all the monitors, negotiating and all that crazy stuff. And then fast forward a few years ago, I jumped into crypto because I always said if I went back to that industry, it would be to help the little guy because I saw firsthand from the inside out the average person really is just screwed in the markets. You don't know what we're walking in front of, and it's really hard for the little guy to get ahead. So I jumped into crypto as a way to level the playing field. I saw blockchain and as a way to do that, and everyday people can turn on a mission to explore. I know there's a lot of money to be made in trading, but I don't want to do it anymore. So I was experimenting with different platforms and bots, and that's the thing. And they all required some micromanaging. I'd run out. None of them had the built-in money management I was looking for. I'd still have to tweak things and get an error message they would turn on, and I'm not trading. So it was kind of crazy. Then I was introduced to Ed in April of last year through my friend Attila, who we've done several things together before in this space, known each other for a while. And Ed actually knew Ed since 2012. He sold the stock AutoTrader for him, and that company got really big. And Ed will share later on how he had multiple screens of ways people could blow themselves up looking at those very same charts that I used to stare at all the time that I had no interest in doing anymore. And so when I found out that Ed put all those 27 technical indicators into the AI, and that AI has been learning for the past 25 years, nobody has an AI like that. We're going to talk about how that enhances your entry positions and your exit positions and leave the least amount of money on the table as possible. So even though we're programmed up or down 2 or 3% on buys and sells, we run to the AI, and the AI will, based on all that history and indicators, tell us if we want to hold or wait. So smart water bottle to be a demonstration today. And I now want to just add, because I think we all need to understand about just who he is, because this is his life's mission, and you'll hear he's super passionate about. I heard a bit. Oh, my internet connection is unstable, guys. I'm gonna have to shut my phone off.
We hear everything you're saying.
Okay, all right. So let me make sure, because this is the best part. Ed, a little bit about you.
Oh boy, I love hearing about me.
I know, right? So Ed was actually a programmer in the Navy originally for 8.5 years, Ed.
8 years.
8 years.
Exactly 8
Exactly 8
years, and not 1 minute longer.
Wow, thank you for that service. I'm sure it was an incredible
It's cool.
what you brought to the table. And then you got out and worked for the federal government in nuclear engineering, which is pretty remarkable stuff. You became a head developer and cranked over 100 programs in 2 years, working like 20-hour days cranking out code. It has a background that very few people do. After that, he was at Microsoft. He was 350 programmers. He was there 2.5 years. Initially a software engineer, and then moved into a development manager within a couple of years, went to worldwide operations manager with over 300 people below him. Managers, of course, so he was able to delegate, but at the same time, people went through the roof, and he was
I was a hands-on manager, believe me.
Yeah, I bet you were. Well, you wouldn't get where you got without being that person. So, for Ed, he just, he was very, he was stock options and those were piling up and they're offering him more to stay. And it got to the point where he just felt like he was working for free, and he retired and did that and was plain investing in the market, obviously, like a person would be doing, and lost 60% of his net worth in the dot-com crash, which was really the impetus for Ed to be like, you mess with the wrong guy. I'm going to show you these markets can be automated. And that's exactly what he did. So we had a stock auto trader for, gosh, since 2000. Year was out giving them a rate way to people, sitting on prop desks, learning about trading, learning about indicators and all the things people were doing, learning about level two market data that the average person does not have access to. So you'll learn that GoBabyTrade, our orders are not shown anywhere to anybody on level two. That's an advantage for those like Sarah that might know exactly how important that is. So, but being retired those 5 years at 39 years old was really boring for him. And when he lost that net worth, he just set out on a mission and created a great e-trade. Those online brokers reached out to him, connections to their API software. He was like, "Why are you calling me? Like who is this?" And they're like, "How did you get my name?" And they just said one thing. It's like, you're real, because Ed was really the only person at the time automating these markets and in the background and history that he does. So anyway, that was pretty cool. It grew big, and he ended up selling that company in 2018-19 to a hedge fund that had quite a few licenses, and then rebuilt the software from the ground up about 4 years ago for crypto, and all cloud-based now. Before, it was a downloadable software, which was, bulky and time consuming. We had big support desk and all that stuff. Now
Yeah.
yeah, so now we have this software, and
Now everything's turnkey. Everything just runs on the servers, and I don't
everything's
even look at my trader. I'm eager to get in so I can see what my trader looked like, because I don't even look at my trader unless I'm doing a webinar.
yeah.
So I'll bring it up and see if I made any money today. I don't even know.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll do that. And you still have the stock auto trader, Ed, but I know you've told me once you flip the switch for crypto, because there's so much volatility that you never
Yeah,
look
well,
at. So
yeah.
I see this as a way, because I know a lot of people feel like they should be doing something in crypto, but they don't know what or who to trust. And they don't have the passion to go in. And I don't want to go research names and build a portfolio, because, it's a lot of time. So in this way, you can manage the volatility and get out of the market regardless of where it's moving, which we'll talk about. So Ed, what did I leave out as I'm rambling on? What do you want to share real quick? And
Oh, 10 tons of stuff. We have 3 hours, right?
yeah, we always got 3 hours.
I, this is going to be a 2 water bottle session. So you have lots of water. I'm going to drink this one, and then I'm going to go to a second bottle. And when we're done with the second bottle, then we end the seminar. I'm kidding. I
So
think I did one yesterday that was 3 hours long.
mhm,
Um, well, I mean, I can touch base on a lot of stuff you said there. Like, why did I do this?
mhm,
In the 90s, I was in all the tech stocks, so I didn't have to know anything, right? We were all in the 90s, all the coins were just going, or all the stocks were just going straight up. So I didn't need to know anything. I mean, I wasn't paying any attention in the 90s. Everything was going up. You owned all the tech stocks, Microsoft, Intel, Dell, Qualcomm, Intel. I said Intel, but just all the stocks and all the techs, and they were all going up, and everything was great. And then the big boys, brought the market all the way to the bottom, and I felt like we got robbed in that 2000 crash. So I just said, you picked on the wrong guy. I was already retired 5 years. Some of you, you're not old enough. None of you look like you're old enough to be retired. So, but I was too young to be retired for sure. And I was bored to death anyways. So when that market crashed, I was reborn, man. I said, hey, I'm going to hurt you for that. I don't know who you is, but I'm going to automate this market, and I'm going to prove it's just numbers going up and down. But I still didn't know anything about the market. I just knew I could look at any chart and see that it's numbers just going up and down. And I
mhm.
knew it was going to be all about just proper money management. And so then I started when I automated the market in 2001, I traded in a professional day trading house just to see what it is, what do they know, right? And while I was in there, I'm very vocal, and it was a big bullpen, you know, with a lot of desks, and I said, I bought some Microsoft stock here. How do I know when? How do I know when? How do I know when to sell it? And somebody came up to my right shoulder, and he goes, "That's easy. You see that guy's order right there? Sell it right under him." Your orders. When you float orders in that public view, your limit orders that are sitting out there, professional day traders can't trade without looking at that. They literally, that's all they're looking at is your orders. They're making buy and sell decisions based on what you're doing. So that's why you ever noticed if a price starts to approach your profit goal, but then it won't hit it, and then it turns around and goes back down, it's because they're drying up all the buyers. They're selling their coins or their stocks at a price just below you, so they dry up all the buyers. And then nobody's going to buy at a higher price if they could buy down here. So they're sitting down below you doing all these buys and sells, keeping it below where you're at. It's so the first thing I did with my AutoTrader before I released it to the public was I said I'm going to hide all the limit orders. The AutoTrader will internally keep track of the goals, of the price goals, but we won't float them in public view until we're ready to actually do the execution and get filled. Man, it goes through our goal like hot butter now. It just all the way back then. It would just go right through it. I'd see no pause. I'm like, thank you. That's the way to be. Hide what you're doing. Just like if you're playing poker. See, we're all smart enough to hide our cards in a poker game, right? But people don't realize you're playing poker when you're putting orders out there in public view. When you're trading the market, you got to hide what you're doing. Okay, so that was one of the very first lessons. And then there were lots more over the 25 years. So then there's a company called American Association of Individual Investors. You can go there yourself. It's on, just Google it, or just go to AAII.com. And they have chapters all over the country. And and they need speakers, especially before Zoom came out, before these webinars. You actually had to fly to that city and present to an audience, to a live audience. So I would go. So I was the only one talking to auto traders for 20 years, all the way until the last couple years, until COVID hit, and then we went to Zooms instead of live presentations. But every week, every Saturday, I'd be in a different city talking to a different audience, and I didn't know what I was going to walk into. There could be 30 people, there could be 300 people. And American Association of Individual Investors, their chapters would be calling me from all over. They needed speakers, and again, I was the only one talking auto trader. So I was in hot demand. So every Saturday I was in a different city. I mean, I did Tampa, Orlando, West Palm Beach, Miami. I mean, all Sarasota. I mean, all up and down Florida, many times in those cities, all up and down California, the whole Midwest, Kansas, Minnesota. I mean, you name it, I was there. I presented to all over this country, man, so many times. And I learned so much from the people. And you know what I learned? What not to do.
Yep.
Because I was giving them everything they asked for in that auto trader. The auto trader, my original auto trader that I sold, had 10 screens of ways to blow yourself up. That's how I describe it.
Mhm.
People were doing it, all kinds of crazy stuff with their strategies. And I'm like, dear Lord, they are gambling. They don't even know what they're doing. They're changing numbers on some of these indicators that they shouldn't even be touching. It's like, why would you change? I'd look at some of the changes people would make, and I'd be like, why would he change that number? How could you, why would you mess with something that is so beautiful and just randomly change the number and just to wreck it? It's like, I
People
don't get it.
think
It'd be like if I gave you a screwdriver and you went to your carburetor on your car and just started turning the screw to mess with the fuel to oxygen mixture. Why would you do that? For no reason when there's nothing wrong with your carburetor. But that's what people were doing. They were just destroying themselves. So I sold that company in 2018 and I rewrote the software to be web-based. That version of the software was downloadable software onto your computer. And the problem with that is you're dealing with the World Wide Web. I mean, and I had clients in 40 different countries. So, I mean, you're dealing with the internet all over the world, plus you're dealing with the people's PCs all over the world because the software is running on their computer. So, I mean, it was just double and triple problems you could have there. plus the strategy itself. The people were just doing all kinds of craziness. It's like, are you guys here to make money? What do you think this is? When a computer is going to do precisely what you tell it to do. And if you automate a losing strategy, then you're just going to get an automated trader automatically losing.
Right,
That
right.
doesn't mean because you have an auto trader, it's going to automatically win if it's programmed to automatically lose. If I buy it at 10, I want to sell it at 8. Okay, go ahead. You're just going to keep selling at a loss.
Yeah, so you took
You know?
away all those things and that we could hurt ourselves with. You did
I
every
got rid of all that stuff. So
simple.
I rewrote the software to be web-based. So the software runs on my servers, and I got rid of all those. I took the 27 indicators, the stochastics, MACD, relative strength index, plus a whole bunch more, and I put it all in the AI. And I said AI, because AI is all about pattern recognition. Nobody does it better. You can't do that. You can't even look at those 27 indicators and tell that there's a pattern there. Because some are going up, some are going down, they're all over the place. But boy, that AI can spot it, can say, whoa, I've seen this a million times, baby. This coin's going higher in the next 15 minutes. Within the next 15 or 20 minutes, this coin's gonna rocket. Watch it. With 98% accuracy, it's pretty remarkable. And
Mhm.
after 25 years, each auto trader actually feeds the AI knowledge or more data every minute. So each of your auto traders is writing to files once a minute, given more data. I mean, I've got terabits of data that my AI that's been running 25 years learns from. So it
Fantastic.
just gets smarter and smarter. Not like any of the AI websites or bots and stuff that are out there. I've looked at some of them. It's just junk. I'm like, man, and I'm looking at some of the stuff that some of them are doing. I'm like, I was doing that in 2002. I already know that doesn't work. And see, they're just gambling with people's money, and it's because they're teaching the people. I think they're telling the people what they want to hear or something. People want to, you think that somebody teaching a stock trading class knows what he's doing. More than likely, that person's not even trading in the stock market himself, but he's teaching the class. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I mean, it's just a scam. And they're teaching all the wrong stuff. They're teaching you to chase indicators and stuff. They're actually teaching you to make you believe that you can predict what a coin is going to do. There's
Hmm.
no prediction in this software other than that AI that's only can tell me that this coin looks like it might run in the next 20 minutes. But the auto trader doesn't call the AI unless the auto trader already says, because the auto trader is the star of the dish. The auto trader itself, your executable auto trader is saying it's time for me to buy more of this coin at a lower price. Then it'll call the AI and say, do you think it's going to go lower? And if the AI doesn't think it's going to go lower, then the software will go ahead and just buy it. But if the AI says it thinks it's going to go lower, then the software will hold off on the buy and it'll let it go lower over the next few minutes. AI can't tell you what a coin is going to do like the next day or 2 hours from now. It's looking at a snapshot of the whole environment, the whole
Hmm.
stock or crypto market at this instant in time. What's going on? Are all the coins ripping? Stuff like that. What percent of coins right now are up versus down 1 minute ago? Stuff like, I mean, just common sense stuff is built in there along with those 27 technical indicators.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot of really cool stuff. Um, and
It's
that I've developed over the years to make the AI smarter and smarter and smarter. And then if the coin is going higher and the software says, well, it's profitable, I want to take profit now because I bought it here and it's up here now. I'm going to sell it. The software's saying I want to sell it. It'll call the AI and say, do you think it's going to go higher? If AI doesn't say it's going to, if AI is not 95% confident that it's going to go higher, then the software will go ahead and just sell it and take the profit.
Yeah, that was a real selling point to me, Ed, because I'm a market technician for a lot of years and I was just over it because yeah, that it is you yeah, it is
Yeah.
taking it's not nothing is guaranteed.
Oh,
But
you don't just take the bird in hand, I mean, we've all
Oh,
heard the expression. a bird in
And
hand's worth two in the bush. So
yeah,
anyways,
it takes the
so that's
emotion
why,
out too. Yeah, the emotion as well.
yeah, so yeah, it takes completely, yeah, I don't even look at it anymore. The market's just such an insult to humanity that I call it, because it's like, it's just numbers going up and down. Let me show you a quick screen here of this here.
Yeah.
So
Oh, right.
this bucket in the well here, I was teaching a class on AI a few years ago to a whole room full of very intelligent people. 80 people in there were learning on how to program AI. Okay. And I saw a whiteboard and I walked up to it and I was just thought I'd throw this out there. I drew a picture of a bucket in the well. And I said, if the bucket goes all the way down and gets the water and goes all the way back up and dumps it out, and we know that's been working for thousands of years, right? Bucket goes down, gets the water, goes back up, dumps it out. Can't stop halfway and go back up. If you do, you're going to go back up with no water. It's got to go all the way down and all the way back up and dump it out. So then I asked that room full of very intelligent people. They all sitting there with their laptops learning how to program AI. Got to be pretty smart to want to do that, right? So then I said, how much water will that well pump in a lifetime if it just keeps going up and down and dumping out the water? How much water can it pump? And they were pretty intelligent people. The first thing the one person said is how big is the bucket? Okay, well, so it doesn't really matter because you're going to do it forever. And then I said, well, then are you sure the water basin's not going to empty out of water? I said, yeah, it won't empty out. Let's just say it never empties. How much water will it pump? So then they started throwing out numbers: 1 million gallons, 1 billion gallons, 1 trillion gallons, right? I love it. And nobody questioned that. They're all okay with that. So I said, all right, well, let's look at the crypto market. How about if you're doing cryptos and the coin doesn't have to go all the way down, all it's got to do is go down a little, buy, and go up a little and sell. And just keep doing that repeatedly for the rest of your life. And as long as you do your proper money management, you're going to always trade no matter where the price goes. Even if it goes lower, you don't care because you're just going to keep pumping money, even just small amounts, right? You just keep pumping money forever. And if it makes a big jump, those ones that you were holding that you bought up here, where it went lower and you didn't get rid of them, that you were holding, if it jumps up, like say you get a 30% jump in the coin, and you sell all those off too now, because now it's above your buying, what you bought them at. So then I said, how much money can that pump? If it's just going to keep pumping money forever, just like this. It doesn't, I didn't say it has to go all the way down. It doesn't even have to go all the way up. All it's got to do is just go anywhere and buy it and then sell it. I said, how much money can it pump? And the whole room went, this whole room went silent. And then I heard one guy in the audience go, there's no way that can be real. I love it.
Yeah. And this
It is
addresses
real. And that's exactly what your auto trader does. It just keeps pumping money till you die, and nobody can stop it. It's not against the law.
Ed, real quick, 'cause
Sure.
the chat is that there's as hard as it is to believe the software has not traded at a loss. Very happy. That's because you never sell those the
Hold
remain.
the losers. Don't worry about them. You'll go back to those later. I am the opposite of Hillary Clinton. Hillary says, when they go low, we'll go high. Do you remember that speech? I'm the opposite. I say, you go low, I'll go low. You go high, I'll go high. You go wherever you go, I'm going. Wherever that price goes, your auto trader is going. It's not, that price can't move away from where you're at. You're
Yeah,
always
but
selling it within 3% of wherever the price goes. So no matter where it goes, it doesn't matter to you. You're always buying, selling, buying, selling.
yeah,
Anytime you buy a coin, never worry about if a coin is down. Don't be afraid of that. Actually, and embrace that. A down market is gold. That's where the real money's made. When a coin is in the gutter, that's when millions of regular people are dumping their coins, and the smart people like Warren Buffett, they're loading up at the bottom. And your
mhm,
auto trader is loading up at the bottom. The biggest money you're going to make is when a coin dumps, when we have a big crash, because then the coins rocket back up. It's like
yeah,
it's like here, I brought up coin market cap. You can see the prices Just go anywhere here. When things go down, I get people calling me when the market's down, like down here. People call and they say, Ed, should I, or down here, over here. You see this? So you bought a couple up here that you didn't sell. Say I bought it up there on this top left, and it goes down here, and I buy more, and then the one I bought down here, I just sold. I would have sold right there on that bounce. Then it goes back down, and you buy it again. Then it goes up there, and you sell it again. These profits, you're racking up profits. The profits are just stacking on top of each other. It's like having a jar, and you keep throwing marbles in it. The jar is going to spill over. You can't stop the profits, and they just keep adding up forever. They can never take the profits away from you. All these wiggles are gold. People call me when the market's crashing like this, and really you're only holding a few. There's one lot you're holding. There's one up there you're holding because it didn't go above it. If you go down here, where we at? Because anything you bought down here, you sold when it went like right there, even. When it goes down here, no problem. Whatever I bought there, you just sold it off as soon as any of these bounces. When it went up here to this peak right here, anything you bought below that price, you sold off. All this is just all free money.
Ed, I think this would be a great screen to demonstrate as well, and along with the bucket and the well, this question from that Dan had say with he placed 10K in his USDC account and why the software only invested up to 3K at any given
Oh,
time.
perfect.
And yeah,
Perfect.
because yep. Then this is
That's
the money management piece.
that's the money management. The money management said when it bought that coin, that's what I like about these smart water bottles. They're nice props. If you bought the coin and you bought it up here, the software put your toe in the water. It took your 10,000 and it said, you know what? I'm going to divide that up all the way down to the bottom. So no matter, I'm going to say, let's say you were adding on 10% drops, for instance, and you put 10,000 in, and it was going to say, I'm going to buy it 10 times on 10% drops, even though we do 3% drops for 25 lots down. But let's just, for simpler math, we'll say 10,000 on 10% drops. That means every thousand, every time it buys, it's going to use $1,000. And it's going to do that 10 times. And in order to use your whole 10,000, the coin would have to go all the way to the bottom. That way it used 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, all the way down to the bottom until 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. That means you always have money to trade. No matter where the price goes, you've got reserve money. Now, where most people go wrong is they get greedy and they're not looking at a year's worth of return. They're looking at daily returns. And they don't realize 100% a year is good money. Even 50% is good money per year. But some people are saying, I want to make 1,000 a day. Well, you got a $10,000 account. If you want to make 1,000 a day, that 1,000 a day for 365 days would be $365,000 a year. You're dreaming, man. It ain't gonna happen. I mean, that's just too much. It's unrealistic. That's where the scammers get away with lying. They'll tell people, "Oh yeah, you can make 100% a week using my trader," and then they rob all your money because there's no way you're making 100%. You're not gonna double your money every week. I mean, in a crazy market that's going straight up, maybe you could do that. But does this look like it's going straight up? No. There's no straight up here. I don't see any straight up anywhere. I see a lot of buys and sells the whole time, no matter where the price goes.
Ed,
So when people call me at the bottom and say, do you think I should sell all my coins? I'm like, no. The biggest money you're going to make is the stuff you bought at the bottom.
Or they want to turn off their buys, and that's really
Yeah,
disadvantageous.
they want to stop. They want to halt the trader from buying more. I'm like, don't worry about where it buys it. The biggest money I made, let's go back to my trader here, is on Alchemy Pay. This is a perfect example. This top one. I started trading that coin when it was at 12 cents. Now it's at 2 cents. Okay? While it was going down from 12 cents to 2 cents. Now Dan, what you just said, if you'd have put your whole 10,000 in on Alchemy Pay 4 years ago, you'd be jumping out of a window by now because that coin is sitting at 2 cents all the way down here. And all your money would have been in, your whole 10,000 would have been used up here. But because the software didn't put all my money in at once and it spreaded it out, I was actually able to take $330,000 of actual closed trades profits on the wiggles, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, while it was trending down. The coin was on a downtrend, but it doesn't go straight down. It goes bip, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. The overall trend is down, but I'm still getting thousands of trades, buying and selling, buying and selling. They can never take that $330,000 away from me. That's free money that I've taken and they can't get it back. My open positions that I'm underwater on up here that I still, because the price hasn't gone back to that 12 cents yet, I'm still in, each finger is one lot. I've got 16 open lots of that coin. I've got 19 open lots of Doge, 42 open lots of GRT, and 30 open lots of SHIB. But the most they could ever take from me, even if ACH goes out of business, is that 70 grand, my open inventory that I'm sitting on. They can never, but this number here is just going to keep growing. Just like here, here we go. I didn't even notice it until right now. If I go to my filled orders, look at today's order right here, 6:43 this morning. My AutoTrader sold ACH again for another 100, almost 150 bucks. Free money. I call it free money, because that's all it's just free money. And there it is right here. It says today's profits taken 149.93. And then, I don't know, do you think I can spend this 30-day profits of 13,000 just going to grocery stores and stuff? Because that's all I do. I don't have any house payments, no car payments, no bills. What do? I go to the store, and spend, buy groceries for a couple $100.
Using your
It's
coin to
like I can't spend the money that I'm making, and that my auto trader's just throwing at me. It's free money. I try to, but if I go to the internet and talk like this, they'll say, "Get out of here, scammer." They don't even want to hear it. And I'm like, man, I'm only trying to do you a favor, man. I created this auto trader. Everybody helped me for 25 years to create the auto trader.
Mhm.
Feedback from everyone. People, people saying, "Hey, Eddie, you're doing good. Everything is working." I hear it every day. The compliments just keep on coming. They love their auto traders. Everybody's making money. I've got thousands of clients all over the world for many years. I don't believe in sitting on like silver dollars in a drawer. If you think about it, what's your silver doing? Silver, the price of silver is going up and down, up and down. You're not making anything. You got it sitting in a drawer waiting for it to go to some new high. And for what? You're going to give that to your grandkids? The minute anything they get that, they don't know what to do with it. They're just going to go sell it and go buy some cigarettes or something. I don't know. They might even sell the $20 gold coin as treat it like it's a $20 bill and just spend it. Because if they don't know the value of gold, they don't know what to do with it. I'd rather turn inventory. You could, if you're trading the stock market, you could trade SLV in the stock market on 2% moves up and down with your auto trader,
Yeah.
and trade silver and get thousands of trades, and or gold, GLD, trade GLD on 2% moves up and down and take constant money.
Hey, Ed, since we're a small enough group too, I think I'm going to address a couple questions in the chat as we go. So first, I do want to show the trade window so Dan can understand that as well when he invests a certain amount, like the default trade window. And while we're on this screen first, Sarah is asking what is a lot and how many coins to a lot. And you can actually see in your ACH and Doge, like in the parentheses.
One lot is one purchase.
Yeah.
I call each lot, each time it makes a pie, I call it a lot, one purchase. So like here, each one of these down, let's look at the filled orders at the bottom of the screen first. You can see there are buy days where there's no profit showing here. And then there's sells where there is profit. No different than running a 7-Eleven. You put product on the shelf and then you sell it. And then at night, when everybody's gone, you go to the back and pull out more and you refill the shelves. Busy stores like a Trader Joe's and a Whole Foods, where they got thousands of people coming through, their workers in the middle of the day are actually filling the shelves while the people are emptying the shelves. They're constantly, they can only put so many cans of things or so many things in the coolers, and they're always filling the shelves while we're shopping. When I walk into a store, it's a habit I have automatically. It's like built into my DNA. As soon as I walk into a store, my eye quickly goes to the shelves. My eye just like boom can spot an empty shelf, and There shouldn't be empty shelves in a store. If you own the store, you would not want an empty shelf because 1,000 people are going to walk past an empty shelf. Put something on that shelf to sell, for crying out loud. The workers, of course, a lot of them don't care. They don't understand business. They don't realize you got empty shelves all over. A couple of weeks ago, I was shopping with my wife in a Vons. It's not, Vons is like an Albertsons or a Piggly Wiggly or whatever, smaller stores, right? In Chicago, they were called National or Jewels. Um, so, anyways, I was in this Vons, and my wife said, "You're falling behind. What are you doing?" You know what I was doing? I was taking pictures of the empty shelves with my camera.
There's no money being made
I
if they're
couldn't believe how many shelves were empty in the store. I'm like, this is insanity, man. You got it. It's just like anything, a 7-Eleven. You don't fill up the shelves and then lock the door and wait for things to appreciate. You turn inventory.
So
That's the name of the game.
that's a sign of a well-seasoned auto trader is lots of inventory. Those
Has
little,
lots of inventory. Yes. And the reason you want lots of inventory, if you think about it, if say you only have one bag of potato chips on a shelf in your 7-Eleven and a school bus full of kids pulls in, you're only going to sell one bag of potato chips. But if I had 20 bags of chips on there, I'd sell 20 bags, right? You got to have a lot of inventory. New people come on board, they're auto traders not seasoned. That's why I try to tell people, quit waiting for the market to be doing something. You need to just get on board. I'm not trying to sell you auto traders. I'm trying to just tell you how to make money here. And it's so simple. But when you first start, your number of lots right here is going to be 1. That means when it buys it one time, you bought it. That's it. Now you have 1 lot. And now the problem is if that coin jumps 20%, you're going to make 20% on that one purchase. But how about if you had 10 lots and you sell 5 of those off at once on a 20% jump? Now you're selling a lot of inventory. On January 27th, Alchemy Pay, ACH, that I've been trading for 4 years. Let's go to it real fast here on the dates. January 27th. I'm going to shoot down. Here it is. Here's January 27th, even the 26th. Look what happened. Alchemy Pay popped. It started making a move. It went from 2.2 cents. Look at this, 2.1 cents. 0.021, 2.1 cents. It ran in the next 4 days to 5.6 cents. Because I was holding all that inventory that you want to call losing inventory that I bought at a higher price, I sold it all off. Look at all these sales. 3,000, 2,900 there, 1,400 there, 553 there, 996 there. But let's not stop. That's the 26th. Now here's the 27th. Look at all that free money. I call it free money. I call the whole market an insult to humanity. So while the price was going higher, it was still not just going straight up. It was going up, but then it was pulling back a little and then continuing up. Every time it did a little pullback, the auto trader bought more. I love it. Man, I got the market of double dipping. So not only was I selling off the inventory that I bought at a higher price at earlier time, I'm selling off new stuff that it's buying while it's going higher. The software automatically adds to winners, it adds to losers, it fills gaps. If there's a big gap between two prices, it'll buy in the middle of that. I don't let this market breathe without giving me free money. And there's no more free ride for the wealthy, baby. No more peace for me, Ma. Now you're gonna pay me. No more. No more wiggling these prices around and the little guy loses because they're all taught to buy and hold, or they're all taught to throw all their money in at the top and pray that it's going to go higher. You can't fool an auto trader. You can have 4 beautiful updates that look like a serious bull market. And millions of people go, yeah, we're really rocking, let's go. And they throw all their money in. I get emails like that all the time. Dan, your example is a perfect example. You said, how come it's only investing $3,000 of the $10,000? Because the software says, you know what? Just because today's an update doesn't mean next week's going to be an up week. We could be going straight down next week. These coins can drop 50% next week. I'm saving that money for when I really need it. Don't be in a big rush. Don't worry. You are gonna rake out so much money in your lifetime with this auto trader that just keeps taking free money. I call this, I've said it before, the whole market is nothing but an insult to humanity. Now, my challenge, though, from a psychological perspective, is this is like a therapy session to me because you're listening to me. You're like the therapist, and I'm like the patient. I get to talk and get it off my chest because I don't get it. For 25 years, I'm looking at society going, dear Lordy Lord, how do we even have paved roads? How do we have electricity? Because if you can't see the obvious, I don't get it. Everybody's thinking that these markets are gambling. It's like there's not gambling. That's why Bill Gates, well, Bill Gates, with Microsoft, of course, he's rich, but so many of these other people. I mean, Donald Trump's family trust has $7 billion of crypto. You think they might know something? You think he might be working on the regulations to get rid of the rules holding these cryptos down? He's going to turn that 7 billion into 70 billion. What I try to tell people is you can't own enough crypto. You need to get in and start buying, but not buying and holding. Because if you buy and hold, then you're up here and the coin drops down here. You got to wait for it to go all the way back up there to break even again. If that coin takes a 50% drop, and it will, don't fool yourself. I watch it do it over and over again. Even Alchemy Pay went to 5.6 cents at the end of January, and it's back down to 2 cents. So it went all the way up there. We sold all that inventory off at a nice, beautiful profit. Then we slowly bought it back on the drops again on the way back down. And then we'll repeat that process again. We'll have big jumps and we'll sell it all off. So the software doesn't get fooled by a couple up days. It's like, yeah, we had a bull few days, a few weeks ago, but then things started going back down again. And it doesn't, that's what the market does. You actually don't want everything going straight up. Otherwise, you're going to be in the situation the stock market's in right now, where everything is ridiculously high. I love trading Microsoft at $30 a share. Now it's at 500. Who wants to jump into that? Especially when you find out that Microsoft's laying off all over the country. And so are all those big companies. They're laying off all over, all different states, 9,000 there, 14,000 there. Those companies are laying off. I don't know what's going to happen with the stock market. I think it's way overpriced. But the cryptos are way underpriced. These things are sitting at 2 cents. A coin like Alchemy Pay, a multi-billion-dollar company, they should be $20 a share, or at least $2 even. But 2 cents, that's a joke. That tells me that the House, all those members in the House, the Senate, they all know that the cryptos are getting ready to fly because they already are dealing with the regulations. They're removing all the regulations, holding the crypto market back. They know this is a guaranteed thing, so they're loading up like crazy. That's why the prices are so low. Let them in, let the rich in low, and get the little guy out.
Yeah,
And,
scare the
and
little. So Ed,
and I
let
know how they do that. They lower the price of the coins, and that scares the little guy out because when you lower the price of a coin, and if a person is, say you're sitting on a silver dollar and it's $33 an ounce, you're making your silver dollar is worth $33, right? But if they lower the price to say $20, now your $33 coin is only worth $20. You feel like you're losing. If you're sitting on 1,000 shares, you really feel like, oh, it's like, oh man, the value is way down. And the people with the crypto market, when they lower the prices, that lowers your account value. People are trained, you've been bred. Oh, I hate to say that like that. That sounds so awful. You've been bred to look at your account value as if that's a magic number. My account value was a mil 3 a few months ago. Now it's at 900. You think that scares me? No. It means I was able to they cut the price of these coins in half over the last 2 months. And which is cool, So like this ACH went from, at least 4 cents to 2 cents. GRT went from 33 cents to 9 cents. Shiba Inu went from 0.00033 to 1.2. They lowered the prices so the whales could load up at the very bottom while the little guy is selling off. While you're all busy selling off because you think your account value is going down and all your friends are telling you, get out, cryptos aren't even real, you're going to be made a fool of. How many people lost millions because their friends told them not to buy Bitcoin when it was sitting at $3,000 a share? Now
yeah,
it's at 120,000 or 116,000.
such
So
a
I'm
great.
just saying, don't let you're being duped, you're being fooled, and millions of people are dumping their crypto right now, and the whales are loading up, and so are we, of course. We're
Mhm.
loading up for these low prices, but we're turning inventory every day. We're running like a 7-Eleven. We're closing out profits as we make it.
Yeah, regardless of price. And that just let me address a couple things in the chat related to this, Ed, real quick. First of all, I just want to clarify so everybody knows that new people, especially that, GoBabyTrade connects to your Coinbase or Kraken account. And so you are looking at the interface that tells you what the trader is doing. The real trader is millions of lines in the cloud working for you. And your positions are always, you can view them on your Coinbase account. You have access to your funds at all times. Somebody is asking if there's any possibility of adding exchanges like Binance. I know as we're changing
No,
regulations
I
and Binance.
did already. And then they quit taking US dollars.
Okay.
And then, so I unplugged them.
Well, they may be coming back to the US, so I think
Well,
that.
when they do, they do. But in the meantime, I don't really wanna, there's no reason. I don't know why people have this fixation on wanting to trade with a certain exchange. The AutoTrader is it's gonna treat your Coinbase account the same as it's gonna treat we don't use the exchange for anything except to send orders to it to buy and sell, and the auto trader's in charge of when it all happens. I'm not really interested in what their interface looks like.
Mhm.
And so Coinbase and Kraken are two US based exchanges. Coinbase trades in our New York or the NASDAQ, I guess, the US stock market. It's a publicly traded company. I don't feel like they're gonna do. I was gonna say I know, but I don't feel like they're gonna go away anywhere soon. I got clients in all over the world using Coinbase.
Mhm.
And Kraken's the same way, another US based exchange. I feel good about those. I know a lot of my clients have their life savings in these traders, and I know people with millions in these traders, multiple accounts with over $1 million in each account. I mean, so people are really counting on this software, and I'm not willing to just connect to any old broker out there that could rob all your money.
Right.
And I hear it all the time. There's so many scams out there,
Mhm.
where they'll, you can't just put your money in some company, some broker that in Indonesia. I mean, they're gonna see $1 billion worth of your stuff and they're gonna say, "Hey, I'm skipping town with all this money," and then they're gone and nobody cares. Our government's not gonna do anything to get your money back. So they don't care unless you're a rich person, like Tom Brady or something. Then they'll have congressional hearings if you lose money.
Right,
You
right.
but for the rest of us, you're just gonna lose it. And people do it all the time. I talked to somebody just a couple of weeks ago. He called me and said he invested in site, and they were matching him dollar for dollar with some forex site, and he invested up to 41,000 of his money because he kept pumping more money in there because they were matching it dollar for dollar, plus it was going up. At least in the screens he was looking at, he was making all this money. He got it up to 150,000, and then he went to try to take his initial money out, the 41,000 that he put in, and then they said, "Oh, the transfer failed." And
Right.
because you messed up on the transfer, we had to lock your account. But we can unlock your account if you send us $5,000.
Yeah, there's so many scams, you guys. Just
He
be
sent that to he called me, and as soon as he told me that, I said, "Do not send them $5,000. That's insane."
So, you guys, well, Ed, let's go to the settings page because I want to show everybody about that.
How simple.
We have a couple questions about, so you don't buy and hold even Bitcoin or XRP. And I just want to share with people that there is a way to dollar cost average. That there are people
Mhm.
doing that with Bitcoin and XRP, but the reason that Ed doesn't trade those two is because the
Oh,
volatility isn't as high. It's not as profitable trade.
yeah.
But you
Well,
can.
do you want to go to the highest trade count report first?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
This report here I created about a year ago. It shows me the coins that did the most trades last year. See, like 18, and when I say trades, I'm talking about closed trades. You bought it and then the buy doesn't count, the sell counts. That's how many closed trades that this coin did. If you were trading it in your auto trader, that's how many trades you would have had. you would have gotten 1,867 trades. It averaged 197 trades a month. And then if I look over to the right, let me get this picture out of the way, it shows you month over month how many trades it was doing. Now you can see what happened here. You see how many trades it was doing, how beautiful it was? December, January, and February. Well, guess what happened at the end of February? The crypto summit in the White House. Now, when the crypto summit in the White House happened, that was when Trump was sitting there with all of his minions, his 25 multi-millionaires that he's unleashing onto the crypto world. These guys are all sitting on millions and billions of dollars of crypto, these 25 guys. And they are sent out to the world to get rid of all the regulations, get rid of everything that's holding this crypto market back. And they, of course, Trump wants to turn his $7 billion or $7 trillion worth in, no, 7 billion into 70 billion, right? These guys are going to do their job so that all these cryptos will go sky high. So what happened to the market? Instead of it going straight up, which because that was nothing but good news, the market commenced to go down instead of up. And so instead of going higher, it all started coming down and slowing down. And because now you can see it writing on the wall. We've seen it in other crashes. We saw it in 2000. We saw it in 2008 when the banks went down to $1 and the whales just and all the regular people sold off their bank stocks at $1. And then the prices rocketed to $50 a share and the rich got richer and the poor guy just went back to his job. Right? And that's what they're doing with the cryptos. This is going to be the mother of all paydays. None of us in our lifetime will never have seen the wealth that is about ready to change hands pretty soon with these cryptos. These
Yeah.
2-cent coins, or look at the price of this coin, 1-cent coin, watch when that thing goes to $1 or $10 or 10 cents or 20 cents or 30 cents. You're talking 1,000% returns here. The whales are loading up like crazy, and ask anybody out there, you guys can do the same surveys I do. I go out there and I talk. If I'm in a Quest Diagnostics where that blood work place, everybody's sitting around waiting like they're getting ready to be executed or something. I don't understand it. Nobody's talking. I go, hey, who wants to talk crypto? And I throw it right out there. And you should see the way they all start looking at the floor, the walls, the ceiling. Oh God, did he say a bad word? Look the other way, you know? Or sometimes they'll all laugh and they'll go, ha ha, like it's a big joke. And I'll laugh too. Oh, yeah, that's funny, isn't it? Wow, you guys are gone, man. You are unhelpable. You are unhelpable. You are just keep on working, folks,
So
because you're going to miss the biggest money grab in the history of our generation, of our lifetime. And it's right here, right now, happening. And you got to get on board and start letting that AutoTrader start loading up on some shares because these down days are gold days. This is when you want to be buying.
mhm. So this
Anyways,
so
so that's
show
what this
so yeah.
report shows, the best coins, the biggest movers at the top. And now picture if you were going to open a 7-Eleven. I've never done it, but I imagine you sit down with an expert and he says, all right, here's a screen of all the kind of things you can sell in your 7-Eleven. Well, we want the best stuff that's going to move faster, the biggest, fastest moving stuff. Okay, here we got monster drinks. Here's we got, just name them, you know, candy bars. Here we have potato chips. Here we have hot dogs, whatever, those things. Well, are you really want to trade the stuff at the bottom of the report, the junk that doesn't turn? Oh, look, there's iodine, there's band-aids. You know what I'm saying? This is the junk at the bottom that you're not going to sell any. In the real world, just I'm not even inventing the wheel here, reinventing the wheel. I'm just doing what everybody's been doing for thousands of years. You buy something at one price, you sell it at a higher price, and you want to sell the items that move a lot. That's all we're doing. And you know, so now if you want to trade Bitcoin, well, where is Bitcoin on this report anyways? BTC. Oh, look, on line 345, I'm going to cry. 265 trades in a year, 20 a month. Junk month. Look at this garbage. You're not even hardly turning any inventory. Come on, I got a 7-Eleven. I'm not putting a coin in there that I'm not moving. I want stuff that's going to sell. I want
Yeah.
something that's going to give me 1,500 trades in a year, not 200 trades in a year, you
Right.
know, or 1,800 trades. So I give you this report, and by default, it automatically, when you sign up, it shows you the top 5 coins that people are buying. I can tell you what they are: Bonk, Ondo, Pepe, Whiff, and Sui. There's SUE, SUI right here. I just
Yeah.
opened up another trader myself. I went and I clicked on monthly average. I threw 150,000 in my account just last week. I clicked sort it by monthly average, give me the top 5 movers: Swift, SPA, XCN, XYO, and FX.
So that's great. I know you and
Done.
Steve, your son, who may not know that Stephen and son works with Ed, has been programming these traders for 15 years, is absolutely a superstar. And so those guys are always tweaking things in the background, adjusting given current market conditions, learning out, and they're like little mad scientists back there making
We
sure.
are mad scientists.
I
I
want
mean,
I want these guys to know, Ed, that you take this, like they can hear obviously the passion in your voice, and we're trying to do a mind shift here of looking at profits and but that you mean you have people's retirements in here. You have multiple 6 and 7 figure accounts, and even though you don't need that in fact we could look at the highest the trader report, but anyway, it's you take it very seriously. So, but I do want to get
and
back and
here,
look at the settings page as well for everybody.
yeah, you got all kinds of support here. You can
Yep.
search for stuff. You can, you can just general fact, you can click on any of these things, any articles, when you send me a question, I just go here to answer it. I've already answered these things 1,000 times, and
Mhm.
and and I can just go in here and then, if you look in the search page, you don't find an answer, you click here and you send support email. Send email to support. We answer all emails every day. I handle phone calls all day long. I actually get too many calls nowadays. And we get a lot of new signups every day. So, but we make sure that our support team, I have a whole staff, we answer everything, we help everybody, we don't leave anybody hanging. Within minutes, you're already live trading as soon as you sign up. It starts in paper trade mode right away. You put in your symbols, you point it at the exchange that you're going to connect to, Coinbase or Kraken. It sees your USD in Kraken, or your USD or USDC in Coinbase, and it automatically sees the money. It knows what coins you're trading. The strategy is already built in. If we go back here to the strategy,
Yeah,
where
let's.
we were just at. Boy, I didn't realize I went that far. Okay, here. You can see all the coins. If I said order the pairs by Coinbase and sort by symbol name, I can click expand and see every symbol that it has. Some people send us email and say, how come I can't trade that fart coin, F-A-R-T? Well, I go right to this list and I go, well, you could have done this yourself, but I'll do it for you. And I don't see FART in here. That means Coinbase is not allowing it to trade at Coinbase. And so they're showing you the coins you can trade. Then down below, you actually tell the auto, by default, these are all checked. Add as price declines, that's checked. Add as price advances, that means while the price is going higher, allow it to buy more and allow it to sell profitably. And it tells you which exchange each of your coins is at. And well, in this case, all 4 of the coins that I'm trading, I've been trading the same 4 coins for 4 years. I don't even change my coins. Even though you got all those other great coins that move a lot more, a well-seasoned auto trader is valuable in itself because it takes a long time to accumulate all that inventory. That means these prices can never go higher without giving me big money. A coin jumps 50%, and they do, like ACH went from 2.2 cents to 5.6 cents in 4 days. All that inventory I was sitting on, I sold like 30 lots off all at once. I think this thing was at like 40 or 50 lots, and I just sold like 30 of them off on that in 4 days. All that profit. And some people would say, oh, you're sitting on all that dead money, it's not being used. Don't worry about that, man. These coins are so low, you can't buy them low enough. It doesn't even matter where you buy them at this point. Just jump in and trade away, man. It's just free money. And I punish the market. Like I said, anytime they go lower, I punish it by buying more at that lower price. You can feel powerful. You should. You should feel powerful about when a coin drops. It's not just drop for you only. Everybody's so much self internalized that they think that it's all just them. No, millions of people are sitting on that coin, and that price just dropped on that coin for everybody. Now the difference is they're gonna panic and sell their coins and get out. You are gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna punish you, market. I'm gonna buy more right now at that low price. Now what are you gonna do? When you go up, you gotta pay me. That's your punishment. I
Right, right.
think a toll booth, the toll booth industry in this country, and you in all over the world for that matter, is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And again, don't take my word for it. Google it. I did. That's how I found out. And all they do is they park toll booths out on the highway, and a car comes by and pays them $1 every time, or 50 cents, or 30 cents, whatever it is, or $1.50, or $3. I don't even know what they are anymore, but because they're different all over the country. And they don't worry about the cars. They just say, you come through here, you're going to pay me. But if GoBabyTrade was a toll booth, our toll booth chases the car down the highway. And we say, pay me. And then we let them go through. And then as soon as they go through a little bit, we jump in front of them again and say, pay me again. They try to go through again, pay me again. I'm going to chase that car all the way to his garage. And I'm working on an animation to show that. I think it's going to be funny.
I
And
love
then
this.
if the car tries to go backwards, we start stacking tow booths in front of him. So now he tries to go forward again. Pay me, pay me, pay me. That's the same thing as the prices going up and down, forward and backward as they go up and down.
So
I mean,
Ed,
just made a fool. Really, this auto trader makes a fool of the market. Now, somebody once said that you're very irreverent when it comes to the market. I had to look that up, by the way. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know if I was getting a compliment or an insult. But I think it was an insult. You're disrespectful to the stock market. Yeah, I am. The stock market's been ripping off millions of people for 100 years.
yeah.
And it turns out it's a joke. The whole market's an insult to humanity. But we're all groomed. We're all taught to do it all wrong, to lose our money. You should never be losing all your money, especially when a market crash happens, because that's when the wealth is made. That's when
Yeah.
the rich get richer.
You're going
But
all
the
in.
way it works is millions of people lose money in a market crash instead of benefiting from it.
So Ed, this is perfect segue too to go back to the trade settings screen and show us the trade window. So that's basically how long your highway is, right? Your toll booth. So when people come in and they want to, you know, be riskier or less riskier, because guys, I consider this like a conservative long-term, cranking money out of the market. Like I don't want it to be risky and high. I just want to know I can count on it, not have to worry about it, and be as risk friendly
I
as
mean,
possible.
a real investment advisor or a financial expert or Warren Buffett, let's say, they would go crazy. Gaga is the word I was. They go gaga. You ever hear that expression? I think it might be Italian. My grandmother might have said that. I don't know. It doesn't sound like something I would say, but I could just hear her saying it. But they would go crazy if they could get 50 to 100% a year automatically, like this auto trader does. But regular people, for some reason, they want to make 100% a day. It's like, take it easy, man. If you're doing, you look at the traders last year. I mean, this guy started with $3,000 and he took 15,000 of profits in 1 year off the table in profit. That's a
And
477% return. Give me a break. You can't
let
be
me
happy with
explain.
that. If you're not happy with a 400% return, then you are really unhelpable
Ed,
because
let's just
you want to go to Vegas is what you want, and this isn't Vegas.
right. And I want to just share with people too that this report, it says the top 50 crypto traders in GoBabyTrade, but I just want to lay some parameters around it that Ed weeds out. He removes all the 6 and 7 figure accounts. Otherwise, that would be pages. He doesn't want people to think you have to have a lot of money to put in here.
Yeah.
As you can
Well,
see,
not only that, one of the biggest things, Francine, that really eliminates the people, the traders from showing up. Like this guy started with 147,000 and he took 166,000 in profit. So he doubled his money, got 112% return. The
Mhm.
biggest thing that removes someone from showing up on this report is if they do a manual trade anytime all year. If you did one manual trade, this report is automated. It just won't even look at your account.
What does that mean, a manual trade at? If they sell
That
it,
means where you went in here to your trader.
yep.
Let me refresh my screen.
Does it count if you do it on the Coinbase side or just through the trader side?
Both,
Ah, okay.
because then I can't trust you.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that makes
Um,
yeah.
I'm not sure if it's the internet connection here. Oh, here. I think my interface timed out. I'll fix that in 1 second. Let me just log in.
There
Come
is
on.
always the option,
Here it is. Here's my trader. All right. On the right-hand side, come on, baby. You have these add and close buttons. So like here, if I click ACH on this, if I expand it and I can see the individual lots, see this one closed by itself, it took 2.82% profits because I'm taking profits on 3% moves and it went down a little bit. But like this one's down 4.9%. I wouldn't want to sell that at a loss. I'll just hold it and that's okay because the coin can never go above that price. With it, the coin can never ever go above target price 2.2, that number right there, 0.0229. It can't go above that without me taking profits, without my AutoTrader automatically taking profits. So I've got a ceiling on that price right now. Nobody in the world knows that that ceiling is there other than me because I can see it on the screen. It's not sitting out there on the exchange on the level 2 screen where the public can look at that. So we're invisible. And once that price goes above that price, I'll do it. I'll sell it. However, in the meantime, if the price goes lower, look what it says here. Next estimated declining trade price is 0.0203. And the current price, the bid price, is let's go here, is 0.021. So if it goes from 021, which is it's currently at, down to 020, it'll buy more. It's telling me if the price declines more, I'm going to buy more there, and I'm going to lock it in there, and then they can't raise the price again. The only way to stop me, I used to say it for years when Microsoft, I'm like, in order to hurt me, I could trade Microsoft in perpetuity, just like you could trade these coins no matter where they go forever. And what are they going the only way they could hurt you is if they want to run this company right straight out of business before you take any profits. Because the longer they stay in business, the profits here are just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Because we don't sell the profits. We sell the coin and take the profit, but we don't give them back the money. That's my money. I live on this. I live on all this money. It's just free money for life. And there's nothing anybody can do to stop me. So I'm not violating any laws, even though it feels crazy.
Yeah, so yeah.
But it also adds to winners. Like this one says, if it goes down to 0878 from 09, it's at 0920 right now. But if it goes down to 0878, it's going to buy more. But if it goes up, in this case, to 50 cents, it'll buy more. That's adding to the advancer if it goes higher. But see that gap between there and there? The software also fills gaps. So it'll also, if I scroll down here, let's see if it show one where it says gap. Here, let me just go Control F, GAP.
And as we're
There.
kind
See, it says added to gap. It'll
of,
actually fill a gap between those two numbers. So we got all different ways to add more at to stay with that price.
that
So
new
they're
ad,
always paying us.
is that new? I haven't ever seen that before.
Well,
That's
I started showing it on the screen,
yeah,
just like at the top of in here in our rules. We only have one screen of rules, and we all use the same rules. Most people don't change those.
right.
We I added here. It used to say right here. It used to say allow buys and allow sells. And then I said, well, some people might not want to add to a position going down, and they may only want to add when things are going higher. So I said, okay, well, I'll allow you to disable the adding to decliners. Or some people say, I don't want to add it while it's going higher. I only want to add when things are going lower. Well, you can uncheck that one and say, don't add to the advancers. Only add when it's going lower. Problem is, if a coin starts running away from you, you're not adding more while it's going higher. And I don't want to let that happen. The default is they're all checked. Allow adding to decliner, allow adding to advancer, and allow selling. So just keep turning inventory.
Yeah,
And
but why would
and
it?
the settings, there's only one simple screen of settings here. One little screen. My old system had 10 screens of things you could do. I got rid of all of it. I said, we're not going to chase indicators anymore. We're going to chase money directly. And that proved to be the answer, the real solution. I got rid of all the misinformation that I was accumulating for 20 years,
Mhm.
21 years in the auto traders.
Well,
That's why.
you put it into the AI, Ed, and let the
Yeah.
AI deal with it. So we're not giving ourselves brain damage and letting us emotional trading impact us by charts moving up and down and indicators, which is such a huge time waste. Trust me, I've done it for years and years. So yeah, let's look at the trade window because I love your toll booth explanation. And when some people, like you say, they want to have more money at work at the beginning, it's not smart because it's risky, and we want to save some dry powder for all these great price moves.
Oh, for sure. You always have money. And you can just, if I scroll down and I just start looking at, you can just look at the fills, the buys and the sells. And it's just a constant flow of buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling. You have down days where the market's doing nothing but buying because it's a down day. That's okay. Or down hours that, sometimes it'll be down for a few hours and the auto trader will load up, and then the next few hours it sells it all off.
Yes,
Um,
the default
and
on the auto on the trade window is down 75%, you guys. And so you can go in and change it to be lower than that. That means if we're down 75% price move, it's reserving powder for you to be still involved at those levels. And some
oh
people
yeah,
can
the
shrink the price
default.
window, like what Dan was talking about. That'll give you larger trades. But if you are only trading for down 30% or price move, for example, and that market moves 30%, all your money is used up. And if it goes down
Yeah.
35% or 40%, you're buy and hold now. And that's what we don't want to happen.
Because you own it all up here, all your money's allocated, and you have no money down here. So then when the coin goes down there and it starts going up and down there, you're not making any money because all your money's tied up above. If you let the auto trader do what it does, you don't care where the price goes. You're always the biggest money I made on that alchemy pay was all made down here, not up there at the top. Those coins dropped like a rock in 2021. And so that coin was already down, way down here. And then before my auto trader really started cranking out some money on the wiggles, because once they hit a bottom, they have nowhere to go but up. So every time they try to go up, they got to keep paying me. I'm like the tax man. You can't put that on the internet. You can't say I'm like the tax man. The government will say he's not allowed to collect taxes, but we're exactly like the tax man, because you attach yourself to a coin, and now that coin can never go up 3% from wherever it's at. It can never go up 3% without you taking money. So you just got them, they just got to keep paying you. And again, it's almost seems, I can't help but say it seems like it should be illegal.
Well, that's
But
a
again,
really
I'm
good.
not doing anything wrong. I hate to say that though, because we're doing what everybody does. You buy something at one price. If you're running a store, you fill the shelves with inventory and you sell it at a higher price. That's all we're doing.
Yeah.
We're doing it intelligently. That's what's you could call wrong. You're not allowed to be doing it intelligently. They're not used to that.
Let's
They
go back
want
to
a
your
society that just doesn't know what they're doing at all and just lose your money. Well, we're not. We're here to just grind money out of the market.
Let's go back to your homepage on your Twitter real quick, Ed, because that's a great point. I just want to make sure people understand that you started this auto trader and many of yours at the top of the bull market back in 2021. You can see
Yeah.
since December 19th, 2021, and in those 4 years, we've had a huge price decline. And what did you start this trader with? $200,000.
200.
So
It
long-term
just keeps
patience,
taking and taking and taking and taking and
consistently
taking.
grinding money out of the market. I've heard
And
you.
I live off this money, man. I am blowing money left and right, man. I mean, I have like if you think of the 60s, again, you guys, none of you are old enough to think that far back, but Bewitched, um, um,
I
or I Dream of Jeannie, or
Yeah.
Twilight Zone. Picture a cigar box where you open up the top and you just reach in and pull out money, and it never ends, and it never ends. Of course, if it's Twilight Zone, every time you pull out money, somebody in the world dies. But we're not. It's not that. It's not like that. But I have a Coinbase Visa card, and every time I pull that thing out and use it in a store, my brain automatically thinks the same thing. The card that keeps on giving. It's like a magic credit card
Yeah.
because I can't spend the money it makes every month. It's free money.
Well,
No
let's
matter
let
where I
every
go, I just buy anything. I went and bought a dishwasher just a couple days ago, man. And I just bought the most expensive one in the store. I didn't even care.
let's
Because I pulled out my magic credit card and said, here. It's just free money. Because you get where you don't even care about money anymore, where it's just like
well, and it is.
it's just normal for me, but it really is a life-changing event. Once
Yeah.
you get an auto trader, you no longer look at the market the same. I talked to a young guy yesterday, 21 years old, last night for an hour on the phone. I love talking to young people because I get them early before they get brainwashed into thinking that the whole market's a big gamble, a big casino. I'm like, it's not a casino, it's just free money. You're running a 7-Eleven without having to stock the shelves. The auto trader's stocking the shelves for you. The auto trader's doing all the selling. It's doing everything. You just put the money in the account and watch the auto trader take free money for the
Yeah.
rest of your life. That's
So,
what.
Ed, yeah, we have Dan's been using this for a little while, and as we come to the end, I just want to encourage people. We're a really small group now. A couple people drop off, so I want to respect everybody else's time. And if anybody wants to unmute, ask questions, or share an experience, that um,
Speak up. Yeah,
go for it.
absolutely. I love hearing it. That's why I'm here to learn from you too. That's what makes the auto trader great. I listen to suggestions all through the years.
Yeah.
And so I didn't come up with all this all by myself. I had to unlearn a lot of other misinformation, but a lot of people had good ideas. Like
Mhm.
your auto trader automatically locks the interface after 30 minutes. This is just a screen, by the way. I think Francine mentioned that earlier. This is just a screen showing you what your auto trader is doing, but the actual auto trader is running on my servers. Your auto trader is running like the ever-ready bunny rabbit. It has no interface. You can't that thing, these numbers are all changing nonstop over there. All these prices are constantly changing. You can look at the level 2 screen on any of these, and you can see these numbers are constantly changing every second. And look at that fake order there, 53 shares. See, this guy's saying if he wants to sell his shares, but he wants 2.1 cents, right? 2.10. The thing is, you're not going to get filled at that price because you're not just going to buy 50 shares. You're going to buy 1,000 shares or 10,000 shares. That means this price isn't even real. It's going to jump. Your price that you're going to pay is up here higher at a higher price. So there's a lot of fakery going on in the market. This is level 2 screen. You don't see this in
Yeah.
your trader. I put it on here so I could demonstrate it. The auto trader sees it and it knows what the real prices are. So once in a while you'll see a price on the screen and you'll say, how come my auto trader's not taking the profit? I'm like, because you're not going to get filled at that price. That's a fake price. The internet is the prices that you're looking at are not, they're only there for a millionth of a second or a split second, and then they're gone. There's 10,000 other people or millions of people trading. And those are actual orders there that people are saying, I'm willing to sell. That one guy says, I'm willing to sell this many shares at this price. That's gone. It should be gone in a millionth of a second. So the
Yeah.
chance of and then there's a lot of fake numbers in there. So you think you're going to get this low price, but really if you're buying, you're going to end up paying a lot higher. So somebody
Yeah.
will say, "How come I'm not buying when the price is right there?" And I'm like, "It's not really there. That's one number you're looking at."
Such a good point, Ed, and thank you because yeah, you're just protecting us from all sides and
All the scams in the market. I've learned this all over the years. And what's nice about programming is when you give it a rule, when I program a rule in, when I see scam, a thievery going on, I go, I see what he did there. I'm going to make sure that never happens again. I add that to the code. So I make the screen look so nice right here, but really we're talking millions of lines of code, multiple programs feeding your auto trader. All these other programs are doing all the dirty work, data feeds and everything. They're looking at, you know, AI and everything, but the auto trader's got one job: just chase that price and
Yeah.
give me those profits. So he's just looking at one little thing, but really there's a lot more to it than that.
Yeah. So
That's
Dan,
underneath in the code, but I deal with all that. You don't have to worry about it.
yes, I'm greatly appreciated. So
Yeah,
Ed,
the software deals with it, and it's Microsoft. Steve Ballmer, the president of Microsoft, when I was there, he said we eat our own dog food. And
oh,
believe me, Windows at that time was dog food. Believe me. But we, you know, I'm the same way. I created this auto trader not only for me, but for all of us. We all worked together for 25 years to conquer the market. We set out to conquer it, and we accomplished it. And
that's
that's
awesome.
the beauty about being it's like if you think of all the programs I wrote for when I was in the Navy for 8 years, 2 years in nuclear engineering for the government, 8.5 years at Microsoft, I must have written hundreds of programs for all different stuff. But for the last 25 years, one program concentrating on this: conquer that market. Not a whole bunch of other things. I don't do anything outside of this. People pitch me. I get emails all the time. Will you come and join our company? Will you do this? We can create this kind of system or that system. I'm not interested in any of it. I do one thing: conquer this market. I am not letting up. I've been doing it 25 years, and I'm going to do it for another 25 more. Nobody's going to stop me, and they can't.
Well, I love it, Ed, and I'm sure Steven, your son, feels the same way, and he's like right there.
He's been doing it 15 years now, since high school, and
That's
he's got a biochem degree, and he is the smartest person you ever met, that I've ever met. He's way smarter than I am. He is a genius, man. I watch him program, and I'm like, you right on, Steven. He does AI and everything. He's a chip off the old block, man. It's perfect. He's like
that's
the ultimate son for me,
so
because man, we conquered the market, and he knows it.
yeah,
And it's fun. It's a lot of fun to do what everybody says can't be done. And
yeah,
everybody else that's trying to do it, they're all barking up, they're all way out of line. They don't realize I never had a competitor, and my processes got better and better and better and smarter over the years. I'm like, man, if I didn't have any competitors for 20 years, can you imagine how far behind they are? They don't
yeah,
even, and compare how far ahead we are now
yeah. People
with
don't
racks of servers, and our whole internal process is deadly. I mean, we're like, you know, the way Amazon automated, you know, that's us,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, and we're only getting better.
yeah. And it's for
Trying
the
to
little
help everybody.
we need. The little guy needed you, and here you are. So this is a true blessing. Dan, did you want to say a few things? I knew I muted for a minute, and we went off on a little tangent
Yeah,
there.
Dan, I can shut up for a few
Okay,
minutes.
question, yeah.
This
Go for
isn't
it.
the Ed show. This is the Francine show.
Go ahead, Dan. Oh, you're muted. I don't know if you're trying to, or if you had to run, but oh,
Can
there
you
you
hear
are.
me? Okay.
Yes, yes.
All right. I just wanted to say I think both of you guys, Francine and Ed, this program is absolutely amazing. I hate to even say what I just said because I
No,
sound
don't
like
worry.
I'm part of the paid group or something, you know. But it's the truth. It's just it blows me away the amount of money I'm able to make by just letting this money sit there. And anyway, very excited about it. I just want to have a better experience in trying to convince others as I tell them that I'm using
Oh, that's good luck
AI.
on that.
Oh, no
Good
kidding.
luck.
That's
It's
been
almost impossible because they're just not there. They say things like, well, if that was real, there'd be no stock market. Or if that was real, he wouldn't be giving it to you.
exactly.
And logically, you know, some people think that way, you know. But the thing is, they don't realize this auto trader wouldn't be here without you. It's the feedback. I didn't do this all by myself. What do you think? I'm sitting at home in my underwear all by myself programming?
We would hope not.
But no. Well, you know, but I don't do that anyway. But I am communicating with everybody in the emails and the suggestions and all through the years, I gave everybody everything they wanted until I realized finally that all the stuff they're doing is all wrong. And I discovered something over the years. The only people that criticize the AutoTrader are people who don't own an AutoTrader because they can't fathom it. They say stuff like, if it was that easy, everybody would already have it. Why don't they?
Exactly.
Yeah, and why would he be sharing it with you? I've heard that one a lot of times. Why would he share it with you? Well, stop and think about it. I retired when I was 39. I was retired for 5 years. My kids were 5 and 6 years old in school, and my wife started volunteering in the school library for 8 hours a day to be near the kids, which made sense. But where did that leave me for that 5 years? I get up in the morning, I take a 5 mile jog, I come home, I took a dip in the pool, I'm sitting here in paradise, right? Now I would done what? Drive my Jaguar into a wall. What are you gonna do? I mean, I was miserable being retired. So when the market crashed in 2000, I was reborn. It gave me a mission. And then everybody was at that time is like, it can't be done, it can't be done, it can't be done. It's impossible. And everybody's saying it can't be done. And the whole time they're saying it can't be done, I'm picturing a bucket in a well going up and down. And I'm looking at stuff like this going, what are you talking about? It can't be done. All I got to do is manage my money and I'll absolutely make that done.
Yep.
It's
Amazing.
like, I don't know what you guys are looking at, but I'm looking at free money here, man.
Thank
And then
you.
I discovered over the years that the whole market is geared against the public.
Yeah.
That's when it really got to me. It's like, that's when I realized the rich are getting richer daily and they're keeping us in the gutter on purpose. And then once you know that's going on, that changes the game. That
Yeah.
changes it. It's like, all right, now I got you. I'll give this to 1 million people.
Yeah.
And, no more free ride for the big boys. We're going to take our cut now. Anytime you wiggle those prices, pay us off. We're all going to get rich. And it's fun. And that's what life is. It's a lot of fun. So many people tell me, I got all my life savings in here, Ed, man. I'm really counting on you and this software and all. I get it. And I know I wouldn't want anybody losing all their wealth. I'm all in too, and we're all running these auto traders for 25 years and we know they work because I've got clients that have been using these auto traders for 20 years.
Yeah.
And some of them are just still doing stocks, trading just one symbol, SLV, one symbol on 2% moves. You can get a stock trader, an auto trader, and just trade SLV and just trade that one coin on 2% moves up and down. It's just free money. There's no other way to describe it. So the challenge is the people, like you said, Dan. It's the
Mhm.
people that you can't talk to them. They're mentally not there. They're checked out.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Reach out to me, Dan, if you want, and we can talk about some ideas, or I can try to help you if you like.
Dan,
Awesome.
what else are you gonna say?
No, that was it. I just want to help others as I found you guys, and I'm excited, and I'm glad to make some
Cool.
money. I honestly, I have a brother that we fund every month. He happens to make some mistakes when he was in prison, and why should I have to pull money out of my own pocket if I have an account that's just giving him the amount that he needs or wants? It's a no brainer. It's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
anyway. I do have to convince my other brother that has control of his money
Ah,
of this, and it's pulling teeth even if I show him my successes. But
they
whatever.
don't. Yeah, it's tough because there's so many scams out there, and they're not looking at what you're saying, or they're not looking, or even I always try to like to show the well because it's such an obvious thing when you look at it. You say, well, if it's just going to keep cranking out money no matter where the price goes, you can see it's just going to keep taking money
I,
forever.
I wonder if there's a
And
chance to ever have this little video from you to show the same thing, because I don't know how to design that. I could probably bring more people to your business.
If you
well,
post the replays, Dan, so I can share that with you as well. You'll get it
yeah,
registered through my link. You'll get that, and I post them on my YouTube channel. And for
yeah.
new people, I know.
Francine has it.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, yeah, and
Thank you.
there's
Yeah,
a
and we
link.
help everybody, I help so
Mhm.
many people, and I'm gonna tell you, every what's happening is because I can see it. people are pulling money from everywhere to throw it into their auto traders. They can't find enough money to throw in. They're just constantly throwing more in. They're closing their businesses. They're selling out companies. That one guy said he's selling all his rental properties. For years, he was in the rental property business. You know, he had all these rental properties, collecting all that rent. And he's like, man, I'm selling it all. And I'm putting all the money in here. This is the one place you can park your money and watch it grow without you doing anything. Just sit
Well,
back and watch the money flow.
just want to reiterate that we are not financial advisors or financial planners. So
Yeah.
that'd be right for everybody, and always consult, with your professionals regarding, what to do with your funds and make sure it's right for you. I'm just sharing something that I'm passionate about. And obviously you can feel Ed's passion around it too. And we're just really grateful, Ed, that you're here. I did post in the chat for any newbies that there is a link you can get discount on that for a 3-year subscription. And reach out. I'm here as well. I help people every day, with questions and getting started. And it's a
Everybody needs an auto trader. That's all it's to it. Everybody. I mean, it's the perfect. If you park your money in a bank account, they give you nothing. They give you nothing. They just take your money. And then you get a Discover thing in the mail, like these Discover cards. I opened one the other day. I used to just throw those things away, but nowadays I open them and I look and see what the interest is on the card. The one I opened up last week it said 31%. Do you believe that? You're putting your money, millions of people, mind you, millions. What does this tell you about the brain capacity of a society? They're parking all that money into a bank and not getting anything for it. That's just insane. And then the bank's doing home loans, car loans, credit cards. They're producing credit cards and charging 31% interest on it. They're doing all that with the money you're giving them for free. But you could park that same money into an auto trader and watch it just take profits just about every day of your life. Free money. It's a no-brainer.
Thank
To
you,
me,
Ed.
that's the no-brainer. It's just so obvious,
Thank you
know.
for in your heart and all your passion. I know you're working to help people and help them understand, because you're right. There's brainwashing about what kind of returns we should expect, and what we should be doing with money and what we should be focusing on, and because we're bombarded by it all day, every day, generationally. So thank you for making this change and waking some people up. And I'm sorry again, you guys, I can't have my video on today. I keep getting internet low signal every time I turn it on, and I don't want to
That's
freeze.
right. You have a nice picture.
Thanks, Ed. Thank you for all that joined us today. And I will be posting, you will be getting the replay, and, reach out to me, of course, with any questions at all. And we'll connect again soon. Thank you, Ed.
All right. Thank you, Francine. God bless you. And I thank you for inviting me to talk to your audience, as always.
Thank you, Ed.
Yes,
All right. Go Navy.
Bye, guys.